Hi guys, I'm going to give you a small demonstration on how to make working rollable doors for like your engine sheds, depots, or any type of warehouses that require a working rollable door. How I did this, looking at this small little sample version, I've cut strips of plastic card down into tiny strips and I've glued them to some ribbon. The ribbon came from my wife's wardrobe, funny enough, and it just comes in strips. You know, you can get them off of your wife's cardigans. You know what they hang them up on the hooks with. I've just cut these out of my wife's cardigans. So basically, that's how I've gone about doing this, and how I did that was by using an old guillotine. And what I've done, I've put strips of ribbon down like this, and because it's an old guillotine I wasn't worried about getting glue on this, but you might want to make yourself like a grid out of a piece of card so you can get your your 90 degrees so that each slat you glue on will be nice and square. How I did this, I sprayed up some colour bond sheets, one yellow and one black, and these are just normal colour bond sheets, and I've cut my strips into strips of two little ripple bits, so they end up looking as small as this. That's the black one, and that's the yellow one. And what I've done, I glued my ribbon to my guillotine because it has a grid on there already. So I just basically glued top and bottom like this just to hold them still. And you might want to put, say, 2, 3, maybe even 4, depending on the size of the door. For this small door I just used 3 pieces of ribbon, and I just basically glued those still, and I've glued the slats across, a tiny little dab of glue on the ribbon, and then just press the strip into the ribbon till it dries, and then you do another one which will be yellow, and you just put tiny amounts of glue on the ribbon. By the time you've actually made the full length door, you might find that some of these slats are glued together. All you have to do is just sort of push them hard like this, like this one is now. See, it just cracked, and it actually breaks them apart, and eventually you can get this piece to roll up quite small like this. So it actually rolls up and even looks like the real thing. I've left some of the ribbon sticking out at the end so I can actually wrap that around a piece of bar and glue it to a piece of bar. So what I'm going to do now is just show you my working one that I've managed to put on my shed. If I just move the camera up a fraction, you'll see my shed, and I'll bring you around the front so you can actually see this one working. At the moment I have to use this winding wheel. I've put a piece of bar right the way through the shed, and I've attached those little tabs of ribbon to the bar with some super glue. And at the moment it's not motorized, but I'm hopefully going to look into motorizing this, and I'm going to lose this bar on the outside and just have like a pulley or something on the inside with an elastic band or some gears to try and motorize it from underneath. I've hung some weights. These are just like your traditional fishing weights with a little shackle there, so that when I put it on the baseboards I can take the weights off, drill 3 little holes through the baseboard, and then reattach the weights underneath the baseboard so you won't actually see these weights. Now for it working, you just grab the wheel and just wind it up. It might be a little bit crude at the moment with the big wheel on the side, but eventually that will be gone. But you can see they roll up, exposing the glass 37 inside, and then down. The weights just basically help to pull the doors down. What I'm going to try and do is counterbalance the doors so I can actually raise the door up halfway and let go. If I was to let go now, it would just spin back down. So that's what I'm going to try and do next, as well as try and motorize the doors. But I'm quite pleased with how it works. The stripes really set off the building now, I believe. And each slat rolls up nicely. I've got a couple of wires here because I put some lights inside the shed. And the wires just feed through the baseboard again and be connected to a 12 volt supply. So I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I'll be back soon for more. Bye for now.